I called my friends to tell them, hi, guess what? Guess which visitors arrived? It was such, like, I almost bought myself a cake. If I could afford a cake. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm joined by a group of young ladies, young women of substance, everything, and I'll let them introduce themselves. Feel free to just introduce yourself properly, okay. Including your handles. Okay. Yes. Hi guys, my name is Wanda Achieng, Wanda Wanda, a content creator. In fact, the only two content creators in Kisumu, that's Patricia and I. Follow me follow me on my socials.
Hi guys, my name is Christine Were. I'm not a content creator. I'm a fashion designer. Follow me on all social media platforms at Christy by Design.
Christy with a K.
Christy with a K. There's no N. Yeah, thank you.
Hello guys, I'm Maureen Salim, a media practitioner and a cook, the best cook in town. Yes. Make sure you follow me at Maureen Salim because soon we are launching something. Stay tuned.
Yeah, so today I have them for a fun conversation. You might be wondering why are pads on the table. So today we'll discuss our first time. When you first had your menstrual period. Is it menstrual period? No. Period. Okay. Yeah. So when you had your first experience with menstruation, that's what I was looking at. Yeah. So I don't know that we start with Maureen or Wanda or Christine. Anyone can go first. I'll go first. I knew. It was a trick question. Yes. I'll learn how to keep quiet and wait to be called upon. All right. So my first time was in 2012. I was in class 7, and it didn't come as a shocker to me because I really wanted it. Like, everyone in my class was already menstruating at that time. I was in a boarding school in Mumia called Buka Academy. So we used to share stories. So guys would be like, I've started menstruating. So I used to ask them, like, what's it like? And I couldn't wait for it. Yeah. Then November holidays, I was in the village. I was visiting my grandmother. Then I went to the loo. And then I saw blood, and then I was so happy. I remember being so happy. I called my friends to tell them, hi, guess what? Guess which visitors arrived? It was such, like, I almost bought myself a cake. If I could afford a cake, I would have bought for myself at the time. So yeah. that was basically my first time. Yeah. Yeah. Trust Wanda to be dramatic about periods. Buying cakes because of periods. Hey. Christine, was that your experience similar to Wanda or different?
Almost the same. Yeah. It started a bit late, but not so late. I was I was a week into joining Form 1, a week before joining Form 1. And I was so happy. I went to the toilet. I found blood on my underwear. I was happy to see blood finally coming out from my vagina. Because I had classmates and almost all of them were questions to menstruate. And I felt like, hey, sasa mimi, it's about time sasa zikuje. And finally they came. Yeah. I was happy. I shared with my cousin. She gave me a piece of pad. Kumrudia mara ya pili, she told me, zake zimeisha, now I go and borrow my sister. And I said, no, acha tu, I'll just find a way to absorb the blood, and I used tissue. Because I was afraid to tell my sister. Yeah. So yeah, I used tissue, but then I just decided I'm not using tissue again because it's not helping. Yeah, yeah. So I just went to her, told her, and she bought me a packet. Why were you afraid of telling your sister? I was happy and also afraid at the same time because I used to know inafai kuje na cramps, but then I did not have cramps. So I was like, maybe it's not menstruation, maybe itapotea tu. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't even understand.
So maybe it was not menstruation. What were you thinking it was? Like,
I don't know. Yeah. I didn't know.
Your uterus was falling apart.
I usually know.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Christine.
So for me, the story is a bit different. Yeah. Let me just start from nyuma kidogo. When I was growing up, kwanza breast showing up. Yeah. It didn't give me confidence. I used to wear sweaters all the time. You can imagine I'm from Kilifi. na mchana ungenipata tu niko na sweater. So that process for me, I wouldn't say made me happy at some point, but when my menstruation started around class 8 hapo, my mom had already told me about this whole thing. So I was just waiting for that day. I was really afraid, like, hey, nilikuwa nimeogopa. Like, I didn't have a way of how I could explain everything to her. But eventually she's the only person I could talk to, so I just told her. But at the same time, I didn't feel like I was happy about this whole thing. Like, it didn't give me confidence at that time. But when I went to boarding school, in a place where you see other girls, they are menstruating and they are okay, they are confident about it. So I started becoming confident about everything. I started wearing bras and I was so confident that I'm now a teenager. So like for the first time, I didn't take it as positively like you guys. But when I joined high school, it became a different story. And I was able to show up and be proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What
mine
about
is similar. Yeah, mine is similar to Maureen's. I was not happy about it. Like I didn't think of, let me buy a cake, let me call people and tell them I have a visitor. Like none of that. Like I was indifferent. I wasn't necessarily late or early, but I just, it was just a very uncomfortable thing for me. I just didn't like it. Like it just didn't like it. And it took me a while to make peace with the fact that now this thing will be happening every month. And I had like really bad cramps as well. So like I just hated the menstruation experience. It was not like my best experience. And so just to connect with that, at the time when you started menstruating, did you feel equipped enough? Like did you feel like you had all the information you needed? But I heard Christy mentioning she used tissue. Like, were you that girl who had pads already? Like, did you feel equipped for what menstruation was and is today? And if you are to travel back to your younger self, what would you say? What would you tell your younger self about menstruation? Those are two different questions, so you can choose either. And I'll start with Wanda.
I was ready. So, so I felt equipped, particularly because in my school we used to have sessions every week where like people from outside or our guidance and counseling teachers would come and talk to us about menstruation and show us how the pads are even worn and all these things. So when it came, I knew what to do. So I actually went to the female room in my shosho's place and got pads and then like figured it out, and it was such a sentimental moment. I remember being in the toilet just smiling while wrapping the pad. Like for real, I was so happy, like just putting the pad on the underwear and then wearing it and feeling what it felt like to wear it. But then I had actually worn the pads before because I really used to tamani. I really longed for periods. So I used to just wear them for fun some days. But now I was actually wearing them because there was blood.
Yeah.
So that was my first. I felt equipped during my first time. But when I told my mom about it, instead of her celebrating, I remember she was like, now you cannot even think of things like sex. That's the first thing she thought she mentioned. Yeah. So I was like, wasn't it? Is it supposed to be a celebratory moment? Yeah. So when she said that, I kind of panicked, but I was equipped.
Yeah. You're equipped. Yeah. And is there anything you'd like to tell your younger self about menstruation, or like everything you know now you knew then?
No. I'd tell my younger self that the first time would be exciting, but the other times would not be that exciting. These days when I just feel the slightest bit of cramps, I just start becoming gloomy. Yeah. I'm like, now what's this?
Yeah.
You see, it's normal. It's not a happy moment these days.
Yeah.
Because I just know I'm expecting to go through serious pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd tell my younger self, you'll be happy because there's a first time to everything, but after that happiness, you'll be crying for as long as you have not hit menopause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a very good thing. And you talk about cramps.
Yeah.
Christine, did you feel equipped enough like during that period?
After the first day of my periods, I was equipped. I remember I was about to join Form 1. So when I joined Form 1, I had a lot of pads. And for the whole of that year, I only menstruated, I think, twice. Before joining Form 1 and during the December holidays, I think it was because of changing environment. And December holidays, we were always at home. We used to be at home for like 2 months. So then my body has again adapted to the home environment. So my periods came again. And opening now school the next year, I had a lot of pads. So I was equipped. I had a lot of pads and I was well equipped. And then my periods, my cramps now came when I was in Form 3. My periods have just been funny in some type of way. Yeah, my cramps now started, I started experiencing cramps in Form 3, not so heavy and just mild cramps. And what I'd tell my younger self, I'm not supposed to expect my periods to be the same way as of my friends or my classmates.
Yeah.
Everyone has their differences when it comes to menstruation.
Yeah. And that's very true. Like everyone sort of experiences different things. Like I had cramps, but they were not as bad as my sisters, and so that's true. Maureen Salim, did you feel equipped?
Yeah, apart from the fear and feeling discomfort and feeling this is not what I wanted, I felt like I'm really equipped. Just to mention, my mom is a teacher, so every time they get pads for the other students, she'll always bring a packet for me, even though I was not menstruating. So I was really equipped. And what I would like to tell my younger self, is that everything is okay. Menstruation is normal, despite the pain and all that. It's something normal that every other woman should be proud of. It's not something that should limit you from doing other things.
And that's a beautiful point. It should never limit you. But truth is, like, it's hard. I don't know how many of you have experienced cramps.
All the time, because on day one.
How bad are your cramps?
Mine are very bad.
I
actually, there's a point in university I actually had to seek medical attention, because now there was a lot of conversation around endometriosis. So I was like, I definitely have this endo. So I had to go get checked. So I'd even on day one, I'd actually get injected, like with some painkillers, some drugs that would soothe the pain. But then over the years, I've learned to vumilia. Kitambo, it used to be too much. You see, so mine with cramps, especially on day one, I usually just tell myself, in fact, I deserve to just be in bed.
So cramps? No?
Not so serious, but I don't use drugs. I just have to lie down for like 2 to 3 hours and then
So the cramps as well. Do you have cramps?
For me, it's a different story. Because I remember one time I got really embarrassed because I was, is it a day before my periods. I usually have, how should I put it? Serious diarrhea.
Running stomach.
Running stomach. Let me put it that way, because that thing one day embarrassed me. Like you have like Wanda has said, a running stomach. You have like unusual pains. Like you can't just explain what is happening to your body, but you have discomfort. And when day one comes, you feel like this pain is too much. I can't survive day one without painkillers. There's a day I went to the hospital and I told the doctor, I don't know what's happening to me, but I'm not okay. So they did all the tests and they were like, you are just okay. You just need some painkillers and you go home. So like for me, it's a tough. I just can't describe it, but it's a discomfort that I wouldn't want any other woman out there to have the same experience as mine.
And same here, like cramps have always been the story of my life until I had my third child and I don't have cramps anymore.
Actually had that. Once
people
you give
say
birth,
that. No, my firstborn I still had cramps, my second I still had cramps, my thirdborn I don't have anything. I just feel like it could like it would just like come anytime, and maybe I fear that I would stain one day because I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything.
I can't wait for that day.
You're the blessed of God.
I can't wait for that day.
But people told me the first child, it never happened in the first. Maybe the third time is the charm. I don't know. So, but that's it. So I'll just finalize this discussion by just your parting shot on what people need to know about periods, about women, about like employers, I don't know, GAVA, all these things. People have this discussion around giving women time to be able to have a break when they are going through their periods. I don't know what you think about that vis-a-vis, like it shouldn't limit you, making menstruation a normal fact of life. What's your parting shot?
For once, I don't have serious points to like. That's just a good question. I think all the information we need to know about periods these days is out there, like on the internet.
Yeah.
And it's different for everyone, right? But like with employers, if an employee comes and tells you, hey, today it's bad, I don't think we should be. Yes, we have targets to meet, but it shouldn't be a life or death situation. And I think that we should be more. Is gracious the word to use? No, is it gracious the word to use? Like understanding of women who are going through menstruation, because it also comes with a lot of mood swings at sometimes.
Yeah.
So we need to just make life easier for each other.
Yeah. On your parting shot, thank you so much, Wanda. On your parting shot, Christine, I wanted to understand, like, we are all privileged in this table. Like, we've never had to use you use tissue because you wanted. I don't feel sorry for you. We've never had to use tissue. We've never had to use these crude methods to be able to use during our menstruation. What is your advice to like the girls who are going through a hard time, even accessing menstrual products, and like just access to information and all that? Like, what's your parting shot?
All I can say is that a period should end a sentence and not someone's life.
Yeah. And
you have wisdom.
That's
wisdom
why.
detected.
That's why.
Yeah, wisdom detected.
Yeah. And finally, Maureen, you mentioned stigma and self-stigmatizing. What would you tell a girl who is not there yet, like who feels this thing is shameful, like, and all these other things? What would you tell them about menstruation?
Menstruation is normal, and the moment it starts, it will be with you till you reach your menopause. That is 45 to 50 years. So it's normal. You shouldn't be ashamed that you're menstruating. On it, because you are now becoming a woman. So, and it should not limit you from doing anything. Just feel confident, do anything. When you have some pain, just be strong. So don't let menstruation limit you in any way.
Yeah. And on that point of not letting menstruation limit you, at Stada we make reusable sanitary towels for periods, to be used during periods as pads. So it's a reusable method that you're able to use, wash and reuse, and so it's a cure to period poverty. And so this is how it looks. If you want to be able to reach out to us, this is an answer to so many girls, because not everyone can afford to be able to get disposable pads every month. So these one runs a year, and they are protected from sex for pads and teenage pregnancies and everything, infections and all that, because it's still a reality that people still do have sex for pads. And we are fortunate in this table, but we recognize that not very many people as fortunate about us. We are starting this discussion so that you normalize conversations with your children. Wanda mentioned the fact that at school they were being taught about menstruation. Christine and Maureen mentioned at home. And we need to normalize conversations about periods so that we stop stigmatizing it. It's something that we cannot control. It's something that is a part and parcel of our lives. So we need to make it normal. So Stada pads is a good a way to be able to manage periods if you're not able to afford the disposable ones, but also if you're environmental conscious and you don't want to be able to throw out the disposable pads. Thank you so much for joining me in this conversation.
Anytime.
It was so nice having you. Until next time.
Bye.